So it's now. So by my reckoning, right, it's Gaethje, Poirier, McGregor.
Poirier.
Do you think Jiu-Jitsu is that important now that we've got wrestling? Now that we've got like kickboxing?
Hi, welcome to episode 6 of the Zero Filtered podcast, and today we're going to go a little bit. This session's gonna be a little bit more freestyle today, but we're probably gonna go for a little bit more of a kind of off the record. Let's see where we go with this.
Yeah, like let's get the formality. Like, tell me why you decided to eliminate Ferguson from the running for
By the way, for people who don't know what we're talking about, we're gonna be talking I think Isaac and I decided prematurely to.
We'll talk about mixed martial arts.
We're
talking about the lightweight division.
And lightweight division and
yeah, we were having like a really good discussion. So wait. So for everyone who doesn't know, Khabib just won, unified the titles, and then retired.
And they retired because of.
So it's now.
Yeah.
So by my reckoning, right, it's Gaethje, Poirier, McGregor, Poirier, whatever. And Ferguson.
Just saying, we have zero credibility when it comes to talking about this.
Yeah, we're like
innocent white belts.
We're out of shape white belts with zero experience. So we're talking as casuals, not as experts, as fans. Yeah. But why isn't Ferguson in the running for you? Like, that's crazy to me. Like,
I think
he withstood 5 rounds of battering from Justin Gaethje, and that's because he went in on short notice and he was preparing for the wrong opponent for half the time.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying Ferguson's out of it. I think Ferguson has more of an outside chance, like from like a media perspective, right?
No, but I'm not talking from a media perspective. I'm talking from a fight perspective.
From a fight perspective, I think.
I mean, I don't care what the media says.
Tony Ferguson is 37 years old. He's not spring chicken anymore. You know what I mean? McGregor is he's still 31. Although you can question his his motor, right?
Oh, as in his cardio, his engine.
Not his engine, like his desire to win.
Well, I think he's got a desire to win. Daisy, he took out Cowboy Cerrone.
But Cowboy Cerrone is freaking like, he gets beat up by everyone.
Well, no, Cowboy Cerrone is one of the greatest who ever did it. What are you talking about, dude?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying.
Dude, you sound like Stephen A. Smith.
Okay, but I'm questioning his motor. I'm questioning his
not
just his cardio, but also I'm questioning whether he has the motivation to push for another lightweight title again. And under these circumstances, right? It's under Khabib's circumstances.
Yeah.
Not like, it's not under.
Okay, if let's say fantasy matchup, right? Gaethje against Gaethje against McGregor. Who do you think wins?
Okay, Gaethje's shit on the ground.
But McGregor isn't really a wrestler either. Both of them are strikers, right? I think Gaethje's a slightly better striker.
I think I would give the edge to Gaethje just because he has more practice. He's like,
and also he's an NCAA Division 1 wrestler.
Yeah, but that doesn't do shit for like, if he gets Khabib, it doesn't do shit. You know.
Okay,
what I mean?
But Khabib's Khabib. McGregor's McGregor.
Like
McGregor's not Khabib.
Khabib
bikini.
Like Khabib has done like some.
No, but Khabib's he's a special guy. I don't think you can compare what McGregor can do to what Khabib can do.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, on the ground and his jiu-jitsu levels, like his what's called his sambo wrestling,
whatever. Look, he's the best pound for pound when it comes to grappling.
100% the best at grappling.
But I'm talking about McGregor.
I'm saying okay.
McGregor does not beat Gaethje on.
If McGregor and Gaethje fight together, I don't think it would ever go on the ground.
I think it's going to be a knockout by either one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Before the third round.
But what I'm saying is that as much as I love Conor McGregor as a sports person, as a showman,
yeah,
fight wise, I think Gaethje's gonna win.
He's a better athlete.
Like, I have to give it to him just because like he has proven time, and he's also, you have to consider ring rust a little bit, like.
McGregor?
Yeah,
no,
McGregor.
But he just sparked Cerrone.
Yeah, he sparked Cerrone in 2020. But I'm saying, like, Gaethje has done it on a more kind of consistent basis. Like, constantly every single year is fighting in the UFC, right?
Yeah. I give the edge to Gaethje. I think 60-40.
Whereas Conor McGregor is like, oh, I feel like whenever I feel like going, I'll go and do it. You know what I mean? It's not there's no hunger there. There's not as much hunger there
as before.
When he won like two weight classes, right? So we question his hunger. We question his.
Oh, you question his hunger.
I question his hunger. I question
still...
McGregor's hunger a little bit. And as much as I was a fan of him, I still am a fan of him. Like,
I mean, I'm not. I don't like his style.
I think McGregor.
He's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong.
Just needs to like prove to everyone with a couple more fights, like maybe 2 or 3 more fights, that he's the man.
Yeah, he needs to mature into a complete fighter. He needs to mature.
I'm sorry. If he wants to come back and show that he's not just I'm a 2016 product and that's it, right? He has to come back and be like, okay, I'm beating Poirier, I'm beating Gaethje, I'm beating Ferguson, I'm beating all 3 of them. Right, you have to tap them all out.
I'm just worried that he's not a complete fighter enough.
The thing is, right,
because he's not good at grappling.
By the way, the thing is, right, Dana White has not completely disputed Khabib from coming back.
Okay, but Khabib's done.
Okay,
they see him in the octagon. He's done.
You say
Khabib, the way he wept for his.
I'm saying Khabib. You say Khabib is not done, but what about this scenario? What if Conor McGregor beats Poirier, beats Dustin Poirier, beats Justin Gaethje, beats Tony Ferguson, right? And then maybe a lightweight on the way, like a really good lightweight.
Okay.
Like maybe Islam Makhachev. Maybe
okay.
He's his best
Let's say that happens. I don't see Khabib coming back. I think he's done.
Like he's have this massive amount of leverage for a big comeback fight, right? Although I don't think it will happen, right? Because I think, when Khabib says something, it's not like what McGregor says, like, oh, I'm retired, and then he's retired.
Because Khabib, when he says it, he means it.
He means it exactly, right?
Because he's from Dagestan. Like,
he's from it doesn't matter. He's from Dagestan.
No, but they've got such strong kind of communal bonds.
Exactly.
That like their word means something. It's not like America where it's like kayfabe, right? It like Dagestan doesn't understand that kind of thing.
Yeah. But my point. But Khabib is a different kind of person. He just wanted a legacy. He didn't give a fuck about the money or anything. And
he's got the legacy. That's why he's not going to come back. That's why he's not going to come back.
But I'm saying for the 30-0, Dana White is not eliminating that yet. And if you look at like most Ara Hawani's podcasts and stuff, he's not eliminating. I think 3 days later he called Khabib and he's like, okay, there could be a 30-0. We're entertaining that, but we're not sure yet.
I think Dustin Poirier at the moment has a really good chance because he performed quite well against Khabib. Let's be honest. Even though he lost, he fought. Like
Dustin Poirier
he gave
is
a really
BJJ
good fight.
Guy.
He gave a really good
very
fight.
good on the ground.
And he's already beat Gaethje. So if we do like MMA maths, if we think that Gaethje beats McGregor and Poirier has already beaten Gaethje,
I mean, if you say that McGregor has clearly has beaten Poirier in 2014, you know what I mean? That's happened before.
Fine, yeah. But at this point in time, I feel like McGregor does not plow through the division.
I think McGregor's not as good as he was. 100%. He's not as focused. He's not as determined. He's not.
Okay, no. I think he is. I think he's working hard. I don't want to like. I don't want to diminish his achievements.
He has to prove it to people. That's the whole point of sport. You have to prove it to people. You can't just go like, oh, I want to be, I want to show that I'm the best. Talk shit and not show it. Because right now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think Conor McGregor could ever touch that lightweight belt.
You know who else talked shit and didn't back it up at all? Paulo Costa against Israel Adesanya.
Oh yeah.
Because Paulo Costa, he was throwing a white belt at Israel, because Costa's like a black belt and Israel Adesanya is only a blue belt, and then he didn't even grapple with him. He just kind of taunted him and then got kicked in the face a million times and then lost by TKO in the second round. So he's not getting a rematch.
Yeah, but
I'm actually quite interested.
I mean,
in
MMA is not just a one-dimensional sport. You know what I mean? It's
a
combination of different martial arts.
But everyone thought that Costa's going to be the guy to beat Adesanya, or a lot of people did, and he just showed that even though he was technically a better grappler, he couldn't get close. He couldn't close the distance because Adesanya was too good. What I'm interested in is if Adesanya moves up to like heavyweight to fight John Jones. I think that's the fight. I'm super excited for that. Because I think
against John Jones.
Yeah, dude. Do you not know? Are you living under a rock? Because
no. I'm saying no. I know. I've heard of this fight, but it's just like I don't think it'll ever happen.
No, I think it's a good chance.
Why would he do that?
Because look, hear me out, right? So at first,
he's a lanky cunt who can't. No, I'm kidding.
Well, at first, Adesanya said that he wanted to fight Jared Cannonier, after the Whittaker fight, but Whittaker beat Cannonier very convincingly. And then Israel said, "Oh, I've beat Whittaker before," and Whittaker's like, "Oh, I'm not actually that interested in fighting Adesanya at this stage." So that's not happening. So what?
He says he's not. He says he's not campaigning.
Okay, good. Okay, but
that's different. That's different. Right?
Let me finish. So, apart from Whittaker, who else is there in the middleweight division for Israel Adesanya? Arguably none, because arguably he's cleaned out the division. So if Israel Adesanya is serious about cementing his legacy and kind of finishing off his Twitter beef with John Jones, the logical move is to move up to light heavyweight.
To fight John Jones.
Yeah. Or maybe not John Jones immediately, but John Jones in the very near future. Like maybe a second or third fight in...
John Jones can be classified as even a heavyweight sometimes, right?
Yeah, but he's going to move down. Of course he needs to move down.
And for Israel Adesanya to move up...
I don't think it's that difficult, because have you looked at Israel? He's so lean and muscular. So
have you looked at John Jones?
Yeah, John Jones is a monster.
He's a built freaking train machine.
I don't know. I think it'll be a really close fight because Israel Adesanya has such good
He's
striking.
currently the second best, or he was the best, but he was second best pound for pound fighter. Like, right now.
But we don't know how dominant John Jones actually is because he was done for PEDs. Like, he was cheating.
Yeah, no. I get that. It's just like Israel Adesanya.
I think it's a good fight. Israel. It
is a great fight. The one thing I will.
I mean, I'll pay to watch it.
No shit. Would pay too.
Yeah, but.
Like the thing I am like slightly worried about with like the fight is like the weight difference.
Dude, but I don't think there will be a weight difference because by the time they equalize a light heavyweight, they would have moved up and moved down respectively.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, you say that, but like if you.
You mean if they rehydrate
cutting weight and stuff?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Obviously, like John Jones will have a weight advantage compared to Israel. That's what their weight class is, right?
But I found that weight differences don't matter less as you get higher and higher. Because if it's, say, a difference between a welterweight and a bantamweight, that's decisive, right? Like, there's no way the welterweight loses. But light heavyweight and middleweight, that's where it starts to get a bit blurry.
Yeah.
Because you've got people moving up.
It is slightly more blurry.
Because the weight difference is a smaller percentage.
It's also your body type as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like a Daniel Cormier,
Daniel Cormier.
Fat, chubby endomorph. Against John Jones, who's like a mesomorph, right?
Is it meso or meso?
Is it mesomorph? Who's quite tall and everything. Like the way you manipulate, like
John Jones is a phenomenal athlete.
The way you fight is completely different.
But we can see that Israel Adesanya is a credible challenger to John Jones. I think it's a super exciting fight.
Yeah, I think. I think who else? Like me. Like who else is a really credible fight for John Jones?
For John Jones, I don't know. I would like him to see. I would like to see him fight Adesanya.
I would say Adesanya as well. Like maybe, like Miocic.
Because
Miocic is a good fight.
No, but John Jones, I think that he hasn't really proven himself at heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? Because he was so dominant in light heavyweight and he stayed there for so long, and then. Has he moved up to heavyweight before? Because if he has, he hasn't.
I'm not sure actually.
But at the end of the day, like John Jones, basically stuck to light heavyweight. He might have moved up to heavyweight for 1-2 fights. I'm not sure. We have to check.
Yeah.
But he's not a champion. He's not a 2-division champion, unlike some other people.
Yeah. Like Henry Cejudo.
I don't see, for example, if John Jones moves up to heavyweight, hypothetically, I don't see him beating Stipe Miocic. Because Stipe Miocic beat Francis Ngannou, who was basically thought of as like invincible, like the Hulk, and Stipe beat him. So
Miocic also beat Daniel Cormier.
Exactly. So I don't see
not twice. I think twice.
Twice, because they had a trilogy.
Yeah.
And then so Stipe lost the first one to Cormier, and then won the next two. So I don't see any, in terms of like absolute terms, like I'm not talking about pound for pound. I'm talking about absolute terms. I think Stipe Miocic is like, he's a top. Like there are very few human beings that can beat him in hand-to-hand combat in a cage. Like who can beat him? Francis Ngannou. Everyone thought that he had monstrous power. Like he hits like a truck, so he's gonna win. And he got out wrestled.
I think once you get to like such like high levels, and like when you get to like heavyweight, like the way you manipulate, like the way you fight is completely different. Like, there's not as much. You don't have as much option. And not many heavyweights fight on the ground.
It's less technical and more power based. Right?
Yeah. Less people fight on the ground. I'll be honest. Right?
Yeah.
Because who the fuck want to fight on the ground? like you're just gonna be like thrown off.
But
there's more risk. There's more risk as
it's a different appeal.
Heavier.
It's a different appeal because if you go to like lightweights and featherweights, you get to see all of this like really technical guys like with great minds just kind of figuring it out.
Is so technical. Yeah.
Whereas for heavyweight, it's like the kind of danger factor of like two of the biggest, baddest men on the planet.
Like if you're like really big, if you swing at each other and then you start like grappling, like the problem with grappling at heavyweight is like if you get like
ground and pound.
Yeah, no, it's not ground. It's like ground and pound hurts a lot more, right? Number one. Also, if you get swept.
Swept.
Swept. Sorry. No. Like if you get swept, right? The issue is that you then risk being on the bottom a hell of a lot more, and it's way more difficult to get out of, right? Like once you're bottom, once you're sub, that's why like a lot of like bigger guys always fight for top, right? Because they know they can't play off their back, right? Once you're on your back, it's GG.
In MMA, yes, but not in pure grappling, I would say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But MMA has always been, well, whatever weight class you've been, MMA has always been oriented around takedowns, takedown defense.
But what I'm saying is that as a lightweight, it's a lot easier to get out of mount or half guard positions, right? In my opinion.
Okay.
Just because it's way more technical than a power based kind of like heavyweight. Once you get to heavyweight,
you will see more.
So much more difficult.
You'll see more stuff happening at lightweight on a technical level. I agree, but I mean Stipe Miocic,
can you imagine two like 120 kg guys trying to do butterfly with each other? Like
okay, but they're not going to play butterfly guy with each other. What they're going to do?
They're going to do hand-to-hand combat.
They're going to do a lot of strike, but a lot of wrestling as well, and that's what I think that Stipe beats John Jones, because Stipe is such a good wrestler. He out-wrestled Francis Ngannou, and he wrestled Daniel Cormier, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
What other good fights are there? Like, do you follow other promotions like One? Do you know Gary Tonin?
Oh mate, nah, I don't know any other one. I just follow Eddie Alvarez and One.
Okay, but what about Gary Tonin?
He's pretty shit now. Sorry?
Alvarez or Gary Tonin? Do you know who Gary Tonin is?
No, mate.
Dude, he's such a badass. Like, Gary Tonin, you know Gordon Ryan?
Bro, this is a new world for me. Nah.
No, dude. Okay, but Gary Tonin and Ryan Hall, I think, are the best jiu-jitsu guys in MMA today. Gary Tonin's basically like one of the greatest athletes at the moment competing in the world, and Ryan Hall is an expert in something called the 50-50 position, which is like, leg entanglements, right? You know when we're rolling and we're both kind of on the floor and our legs are like in this position. Yeah. That's 50-50 position. And then what you can do is you can like leg lock people, like destroy the ACLs, and that's how you beat BJ Penn.
I heard of that name, but no.
Okay, so BJ Penn was one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time, of his generation, right? BJ Penn got a black belt in under 4 years. Just put that in context. It usually takes
impressive.
It takes a normal just
10 years.
Just to put some like things in context. It takes 10 years of consistent competitive training to get a black belt. It takes 2 years to get a blue belt and 5 years to get a purple belt.
You can't be like us and train 3 times a week.
Yeah. So BJ Penn got his black belt in under 4 years, right? And then he got leg locked in the first round by Ryan Hall, forcing him to tap, which is crazy. First round, it looked like both of them looked really good, and then Ryan Hall did this twisty thing on the ground, and he tapped, and BJ Penn tapped. It's like magic. It's crazy. So and that's why Ryan Hall can't get a fight at lightweight. That's why he can't get a fight. Because Dana White says that he guarantees every fighter in the UFC at least 3 fights a year. Ryan Hall does not have 3 fights a year, even though he's in the UFC. And the reason is, I think, so many people are ducking Ryan Hall because they know that if they lose against him, the ACL's getting fucked.
Then he can advance and stuff. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Do you think Jiu-Jitsu still has a role in MMA, or do you think it's
100%?
Or do you think it's starting to become too like? Or do you think it's
Jiu-Jitsu doesn't have a role in MMA? Like the best, like Khabib just showed that he's the best at grappling.
But but he's not a Jiu-Jitsu guy. He's a Sambo guy. Do you see what I'm saying?
But he also has Jiu-Jitsu coaches.
Yeah, no, of course. But do you think Jiu-Jitsu is that important now that we've got wrestling, now that we've got like kickboxing?
I mean, it's part of it. Like getting like, I think it's less important for submissions. Actually no.
Wait, what?
No submissions. No submissions. I think Jiu-Jitsu is important when you're someone who likes wrestling, like a Chad Mendes or or a Khabib or a Poirier, right? Getting to the position where you can do the takedown, that's all Jiu-Jitsu, legit.
No, what about wrestling? Like I'm talking about American collegiate wrestling or Russian wrestling.
Collegiate wrestling is also important to get the power and purchase, but to get the technique down also is quite important.
But most takedowns are wrestling
like
techniques.
If you looked at Henry Cejudo's like 2014 Olympics, where he then started doing like Olympic wrestling, right? All you need to do is like tag them and then put them down, right?
Wrestling's much more complicated than that, but
easier said than done. But at the same time, Jiu-Jitsu is what makes it that whole process easier because it's so technical. If you had that Jiu-Jitsu knowledge, we saw Khabib against Gaethje. We saw the difference between a wrestler and a Jiu-Jitsu guy. It was way harder to fight Poirier for Khabib than fight Gaethje.
Okay.
And Poirier is a BJJ guy, right? Traditionally, right?
He's a black belt, right?
He's a black belt in BJJ.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can see how like his sweeps work. Like you remember how like Khabib is so fucking good at like keeping him down that even a sweep wouldn't get him down, like get him away, right?
Wait, can I ask you a hypothetical question? Because I think it's a fun way to do it. If you can only master 2 styles and be like okay-ish at all the other ones, which 2 styles will you pick for like a duty to death kind of like MMA match?
Out of which ones?
You can pick any 2 styles. Like
a BJJ wrestling.
Yeah, just pick 2.
Boxing.
Yeah, but you can only master 2.
Kickboxing, right?
You can only master 2. If I told you can only bring 2 styles in with you that you're good at, which 2 styles would it be?
Jiu-Jitsu, that's one for me, and boxing.
And boxing. Why not Muay Thai?
Or Muay Thai, I'm not sure. Is Muay Thai basically just like, I'm not too sure, but Muay Thai you also like
Muay Thai is basically so it's called the art of 8 limbs, right? So you've got your punches, which is your fists, elbows, your knees, and your shins.
Actually, I would go Muay Thai.
And you can also do like clinch fighting.
I think Muay Thai is more beneficial for an MMA fight.
Yeah, Muay Thai and BJJ. Let me ask you a second hypothetical question. Because right now MMA it's 5-minute rounds, right? How would your decision making change if it's 1 round, no time limits until knockout or submission?
Are you mad?
That's how the UFC used to be. The first UFC was 1 round, no time limit.
There's a reason why they took it out. Thank God.
Yeah,
but someone's gonna gas out before like.
So I'm asking you if it's like a Brazilian old school style Vale Tudo match. What
for me? What I would do?
Which 2 styles?
I would try to not get taken out.
Okay, so which 2 styles would you bring into a Vale Tudo match?
Okay, definitely like Jiu-Jitsu, number 1, because if I get taken down, then bye.
You need to survive, right?
Exactly. I'd say it's still Muay Thai or boxing.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because those 2, boxing, like when you're on the ground, you can do distance management.
Yeah.
Right. One thing that you can do with boxing is like you can kind of you can create impact and not get hit. Like you can you can like hit your opponent.
But
and not get hit.
I think I prefer Muay Thai
because
you
kind
got
of the Anthony Joshua approach of fighting, where it's like
you translate it to MMA.
But you translate to MMA, right?
Yeah.
And you have some Muay Thai skills in there, right? Do that. Don't get taken down, and then the more you wear down your opponent, then you find that opportunity when he's gassing out, right? To then fight. And the most important thing is to fight in the middle of the ring rather than running around, because then you lose energy as a result. Also, if you're gonna train for something like that, it's just a lot of back work. So like a lot of work that you have to do beforehand. Like you literally have to be a CrossFit guy. Like you have to do weights.
You have to do everything.
Weights, running,
weights, cardio, swimming as well, cycling.
Like on a consistent basis. Like it's not as easy as just like I go for runs often as well. I do weights often as well.
Yeah.
But doesn't compare to like them who do it for a full-time job and make sacrifices like eating
athletes,
very clean.
Not just casuals like us, but athletes.
Mate, like they do 100 kilo dead.
Absolute warriors.
Like heavyweights do 100 kilo deadlifts, right? 40 times, and then straight after go for like a cycling ride, go for a bike ride. I'm like, are you mad?
Yeah, and it's
are your legs not in pain? Like, you know what I mean?
For final question, self-defense. Now let's take away the cage. Let's take away the professional fighters. There's some like crazy guy, and you're in an everyday scenario. You just got home from school, or whatever, or you're on the train. Which style would you want?
That's an interesting question, actually. I think Jiu-Jitsu is more hard to do. If you're like a beginner, yeah, it's more hard to kind of like. Just to kind of achieve, right? And it depends on the size of the person, the guy. Then you'd be like, I think mainly go for a different approach.
I would say for self-defense, the two styles I would pick are wrestling and jiu-jitsu, or jiu-jitsu and judo. Because if you're fighting...
Oh, no, judo. No, not judo.
Because if you're fighting...
Here's an issue.
No, hang on. Let me finish. Imagine you're on concrete, right? This crazy guy comes running at you. You do a judo for and slam him on concrete. That's the fight. The fight's over.
Yeah. Do
you see what I mean? Or wrestling.
But I'm saying like you have that with jiu-jitsu already. We can slam him, right?
No, but jiu-jitsu does not.
But what I'm saying, judo skills aren't as translatable as wrestling.
Okay, so
judo, you have the gi.
Okay, fine. Then jiu-jitsu and wrestling.
Like with the gi, there's grips, right? Would you? Okay, there was an interesting I
don't know. It might be winter, mate. You might be in New York.
But what I'm saying, there's an interesting debate between on anatomy of a fighter.
As in like what, gi or no gi?
Judo Olympic champion or wrestling Olympic champion.
No, wrestling would have better physiques, obviously.
But what would you rather? Would you rather do a judo? Would you rather get a judo Olympic champion, be a judo Olympic champion, or would you rather be a wrestling Olympic champion?
Wrestling Olympic champion.
See, that's a lot. That's what a lot of people say, but Khabib thinks differently.
Yeah, Khabib thinks differently, but Cejudo disagrees with him. So
exactly, right?
I think it's all balanced.
I don't know where I stand with that, but at the same time, I think
judo works though. Remember Ronda Rousey when she was something. That was judo.
I think judo comes into it. Wrestling also is quite important.
I think wrestling in MMA, wrestling's the most important, and in self-defense, I would say it's top 2. In MMA, I think it's the most important.
I think self-defense. I don't think throwing haymakers work.
No, I'm not talking about WWE wrestling. I'm talking about collegiate wrestling, where you take someone down and pin him.
I know. I'm saying in a self-defense fight.
In a self-defense
situation. I genuinely don't think that throwing like punches will work.
No, that's why I'm saying wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think wrestling and jiu-jitsu as well.
Because if this was a street fight, my first priority is not to win. My priority is to run away and be safe, right? If you're striking, like if my opponent's really good at Muay Thai, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run away. Like fuck that. But
if you close the distance,
if he grabs you by the leg and you're on the floor and then you're like shit, that's when you need to know jiu-jitsu and you need to know wrestling just to get back up.
Yeah, because anyone can punch.
Yeah, anyone. You know what I mean? And if you're a jiu-jitsu guy or a wrestling guy, you go in top position, you get into mount, and then
you try to submit his ass.
You don't. Or you can just punch him. That you don't need to be a trained boxer to be able to punch from.
Or ground and pound, exactly.
Yeah.
So that usually works.
Yeah, I would say jiu-jitsu and wrestling are the two best styles.
100%.
Overall, even I would actually prefer to have wrestling and jiu-jitsu over jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai for MMA. Maybe. If I knew a little bit of MMA of Muay Thai. But I can only be an expert into it. I'd rather be an expert in wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, one thing I do want to be kind of better at is probably my striking.
Yeah, I've got really bad striking. I remember I went to the MMA class on Friday, and then we were doing the kind of striking, and then everyone was so fast, and I was like, I couldn't even kick. No, like those guys are fast. Like I'm telling you, like you blink, bah, 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 and then they've moved off angle.
So boxing has traditionally been one of the kind of star-studded, like attraction sports that there's,
and it still is,
as old as it can be. It could be like, Boer against let's say Max Baer against I don't know. It was like 1936. There was a really big fight.
Oh, we're talking about 1930. Let's talk about Muhammad Ali.
But
Mike Tyson.
But you know, like, what my point is, like, it extends all the way back to,
okay,
like,
yeah,
to, like, the 1800s.
But imagine Anthony Joshua in an MMA match, right? Or Anthony Joshua against Stipe Miocic in like a street fighting scenario, like real life. Stipe Miocic wins every time, definitely, unless Joshua manages to clip him for 1-2, because in a real life scenario, MMA is definitely better than boxing. Because boxing, you land a punch and that's it.
I'm saying with distance management, okay, in a street fight, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But in terms of distance management, Joshua, oh my god.
But I think I would actually say distance management, kickboxing,
but
Dutch
I'm
kickboxing,
saying it's a different art though. That's
it's a different art, but I'm talking about overall effectiveness.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to train in something that's like ineffective.
In the MMA, it's like it's great to be able to use all these different styles.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's all about
because you know
it's about mixing and matching.
But because you know one style isn't gonna completely be the other one.
Exactly. And you can be a really good. Like,
and maybe I will say that grappling is 60% more is slightly more effective than boxing.
Yeah.
Or striking.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, don't you think it's like a slight advantage?
Look, you need to know grappling. You need to know striking. But if you can only master one, I'll say master grappling because
once you get on the ground, it's like
GG.
Then you're fine. But I think every fight starts on 2 feet. So you have to also master your striking at some point.
I think there's
no point going into a fight not knowing like
the great MMA guru John Danaher. He said there were like 3 phases. So free fighting. So when you're on your feet, the clinch, pretty self-explanatory, and the ground.
Because you have to get there first.
Yeah, you need to get.
You have to know the steps to get them on the ground and then
and
pin them down.
That's one of the reasons why I'm so against the idea of sport jiu-jitsu, like competition jiu-jitsu. What these guys do is that they do something called like pulling guard. So for people who don't do MMA or jiu-jitsu, it's like they basically just sit down, and then under jiu-jitsu rules you have to engage with them on the ground. Whereas in a real fight, you just get kicked in the face. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then I don't think.
But you start on your knees and like you try to wrestle.
Because you see in a lot of jiu-jitsu competitions that people are just like on their butts and they do like butt scoot towards their opponents, and you're like, dude, like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not realistic towards what a real fight would be.
No, and it's not true to jiu-jitsu's roots either, because when the Gracie family started jiu-jitsu, they weren't butt scooting, they weren't pulling guard.
Yeah, they were like
they were taking people
on their feet.
They were taking people like, down and submitting.
Like that's what we learned in some of our classes. Like how to off balance, like get them on your back, like drive in.
And then people exploit these jiu-jitsu rules, and they're like, oh, if I get taken down, then the other guy gets 2 points. So if I just sit down, then it's 0-0.
Yeah.
And then that's such a bad...
The point system is...
I'm really against the point system. I would prefer something like...
a decisive win.
Like Metamoris or EBI, where you have to get submission. So submission only.
Yeah.
And it also rewards smaller guys as well, if you think about it. Because a bigger guy against a smaller guy in like the absolute division, the bigger guy can just get all of these positions, mount, knee on belly, and get all these points.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's submission only... Guess what? If the big guy isn't technical enough and the small guy just escapes all of his submissions, then it's a draw. So I think
it turns into a bit like football. Like you have to score the goals in order to win the game. Kind of scenario. Like whether or not like you're good
in a street fight, nobody cares about points. I can mount you 150 times, but if you get me in a kimura, which I can't get out of, then I've lost.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if I have 150 points.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I'll agree with that.
So I think jiu-jitsu needs to go back to like submission only, or introduce some strikes. You know, like combat jiu-jitsu. It's the best thing. So it's jiu-jitsu, but you're allowed to slap your opponent. No, I'm serious. If you search it up, combat jiu-jitsu.
Like that.
Yeah, like slap. I'm not like pussy slaps, but like actual like the ones that really hurt.
Worse than like your mom slapping you.
Yeah, definitely, because they use the heel of your hand, and then it mounts. And
I don't think slapping should be allowed.
No, it's called combat jiu-jitsu.
Today I was sparring Tommy, and then literally just like, I was on mount. I got past his guard. I was on mount. Got past the half guard on mount.
How did you get past his guard? That's. Were you doing gi or no gi? No gi.
No gi. And then he started framing me, and then like I pushed down really hard, and he tried to frame me, but like this.
That's allowed.
No, he put like I couldn't breathe. I was just like, and then it was just like, okay, 0-1, and then like 0-1 basically.
The tap.
And then I was gonna faint, and then so he just like bridged me, and then just like that, and then I was just on the floor like, and then just like, yo, like, is that even allowed? Like, he's like putting my
I think that's allowed. I think that's allowed.
Okay, if you said that loud, I'm gonna put my whole hand on your face next time until you can't breathe. That doesn't count. Come on, like chin okay, but not the mouth. Not the mouth and nose.
I don't know. Maybe Tommy was.
Like Hohen was like that's some bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Like Hohen's like you can't do that. That's literally like illegal. That's a legal move.
That's an illegal move. Okay, fair enough. I don't know. I don't know if that's.
But that was pretty funny to spar. Like, honestly, I really enjoy sparring these days. It's just like really just getting to know like how to get past certain guards, like, and then do like the triangle choke, and then like do.
Oh, did you learn the triangle?
Yeah.
Finally.
Well, it's so difficult because
it's so hard.
It's difficult because like.
It's so hard to set up as well.
It's like the purchase. I can't really get the levers in.
Oh, you mean
the
foot on the hip?
Like
that's the easy part though.
I got fat legs, right? So like it's not exactly that easy to get like.
Yeah, your body type isn't that suited to triangles. If I'm honest, you're more like your body type by itself lends more towards Kimura and Americana.
Yeah, because the thing is right, like Fabio, who was a very kind of is a nice coach.
He's super nice guy. Super nice guy.
He's also very good looking and very tall. But his legs are like a lot less like muscly and a lot longer, right? Whereas Hohen's legs are a little bit more muscular and fat. And so when Hohen explained to me how to do the triangle instead of Fabio doing it, I related more to Hohen just because I really knew how to get that purchase. Like,
yeah,
maybe just a little bit of experience issues, but like,
yeah, I think
like how to get the purchase right with really fat legs really helped me out with like controlling levers and then making sure like I get like the movement down.
It's quite hard to hit
and how to
triangles,
like get the flexibility to get it to get it ready. Do you know what I mean? Like, cause constantly training like movements where like I'm on like one foot on the ground and one leg up, and then training how to like strip in that kind of movement is difficult.
Yeah.
Right, because it's heavier. So, doing that.
I find triangles quite hard as well because.
And spider guard as well.
Are you doing spider guard today?
No, we didn't do spider guard today. But in general, I find spider guard extremely difficult.
I don't think you're a spider guy type of guy.
Oh, have you seen how much ab work that you have to do?
And spider guard is more for like really like thin, lanky people with good flexibility.
Yeah. I don't think spider guard's ever gonna be used in most fights.
I think you're much better on top than bottom, because.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
What other guards are there?
I think with my top game, I can at least get past like blue belts.
Okay.
Sometimes
who
like get past their
blue belt?
No, I'm saying get past their guard, but I'm not saying we're gonna win. I'm saying I can go on top, right?
No, but on top, there are two different types of on top. On top when you're in their guard, or on top when you've passed the guard.
Past their guard.
What, like do it like side control, knee on belly?
Yeah, side control.
You think you can get no?
Some people.
I strongly disagree that the average that you can get past the average blue belt's guard. Average legit blue belt's guard.
Not the average blue belt, but like the new blue belts, right?
New blue belts, like who?
It's like when we're flow training or when we're just training.
Okay, but if they're flow training, they aren't gonna give you full resistance.
It's like.
I'm talking about like actual. If to use your term, game speed. If both of you are getting game speed, you are not getting past a guard.
I have got past guard game speed. Yes, I have. Come on, bro. I have.
No. Look, okay.
I have. What the fuck? You've seen me get past blue belt before.
Dude, you were drilling how to get past the close guard. Of course you got past.
No, not drilling. Like in actual game speed.
Actual, as in the other guy's going 100% as well.
I don't think anyone's going 100%. But like we got past some of the we got past their guard.
I think it's because they weren't in the hunt. They weren't going full blast. Come on, you think you actually got past their guard?
Well, yeah. Well, I got out. Does that not count?
No, of course it doesn't count because you're flow training and you're drilling and you get past the guard.
It's not drilling. No, we weren't drilling. We're rolling.
Or flow rolling.
Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, but flow rolling, of course, they're gonna let you get past the guard so they can work their escapes in. I'm talking about someone with like a fully resisting guard, like a legit blue belt with a fully resisting guard. You're not getting past that. Like you're a strong guy. Don't get me wrong. Like you lift weights.
But I'm saying, but I have it's like how are we ever gonna train someone with 100%? You know what I mean? We don't train like by your definition. Then I've never went up against anyone who's at 100%.
I think Taki once went 100% against you.
Taki's
Once he has.
When has that ever happened?
When he cross-faced your face into the mat and forced you to tap.
Okay, but
that was 100%.
Okay, but that was when I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't think we've ever went against someone who's 100%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we would never get, and we would never go 100% until competition.
Like the moment,
Dude, highest. It's just bad etiquette to go 100%.
Like the highest I've ever won is like 80%. In my opinion, right?
Okay.
I don't think I've ever really intensely wanted to like beat someone so hard where just like I'm going to literally do anything to push this guy off me, right? I've never done that. Like I'm just like when I'm on the ground, like when I'm like at a flying arm today, she's like, okay, how do I get out of this? Is like bridge, and I'm like, oh shit. And it's like trying to side control, and then like, oh, let's not get guillotine this time. And then so everything comes with like a risk. But I have got past some. Very few, but some.
We'll take your word for it.
But some. Come on. Give me the benefit of the doubt. Come on. I got some blue belt.
I was sparring against this blue belt, right? Like, and she was much smaller than me. I couldn't do.
You mean Corey?
No, not Corey. Someone else. I forgot her name. I don't think you know her.
Yeah.
But it's like she was smaller than me, right? I was definitely stronger than her. I couldn't get past the guard. Like every time I was trying to like get past, it was like.
Because you said
crazy.
Because you said Corey was hard to beat in terms of like a flow training.
Yeah. No, not flow training. I'm saying she's hard to beat in general. But. Well, wait. What are you talking about?
She's really good in my opinion. But once I'm on top, it's like GG.
Nah, but if
I think okay. I'm not gonna be.
Okay. Hypothetically, and let's not mention specific people like persons' names because privacy and stuff.
Bleep it out.
Yeah, bleep it out. So say you were in that blue belt's guard. You start in close guard. You on top, and that blue belt on bottom. Tight close guard, and that's the starting position.
Yeah, but I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair either if I go against a girl because I'm like way heavier than them. And maybe that comes at an advantage.
Yeah, well, of course it's an advantage. Men are biologically stronger and faster than women. But what I'm saying is that I'm not sure at this stage you have the technique to beat them. Even
I know the technique, but sometimes...
I don't think you get past the guard. I don't if they tried 100%.
Okay, why do you...
Maybe if you were against, let's say, hypothetically, a 100-pound female who was a blue belt. She's been a blue for 2 months and she's 100 pounds. Yeah, you can probably get past the guard, but I'm talking about, like, let's say a woman who's my size and a blue belt. You're not getting past that guard, right?
Okay, but why do you think that?
Because, like, their close guards are so tight. And I'm not just saying this because they're much better than me, even though they are.
I don't go for the approach that you go for, which is speed and...
No, I know you have a different game, like, it's more about power and pressure.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But... when have you legitimately got past the guard? I'm not talking like flow rolling. I'm talking about like they were act like.
You know. Sometimes for me, I think getting in a close guard is better than like if you getting in a close guard is better than trying to fight for side control. Sometimes for me, right? Sometimes
we're getting
like okay. This is as a newbie, right? Like for me, like powering through and getting maybe a half guard on top, or maybe like just in their close guard. For me, is slightly easier than
being side control.
Than trying to fight really hard and run around, burn a lot of energy, try to get side control which ends up not happening usually most of the time.
Yeah, that. What I'm saying is that you can't pass the guard
Because
you can't get side control.
I don't have the speed, right?
It's not about speed. The thing is, you can get side control with power.
The thing is, I don't like.
It's just that neither of us are skilled enough to actually.
Like the thing is, like, you can run around. I don't run around. Like my technique, like my approach, which is what Taki taught me and what most
everyone tells you, right? Even the white belts know.
And everyone tells me is like, go straight, hard, low, drive fast, and then boom, like duck in, right? Go straight in, and if you see the right opportunity, then just run with it, boom, right? Even if you get a half guard, then you try to get out of it, right? Because once you pin them down, it's way harder for them to be very settled.
I mean, you are a heavy motherfucker. Let's be honest.
But you know what I mean, like
yeah.
It's way harder.
No, you're a top player, and that's cool.
But so, if I do that, then it's gonna be way harder for my opponent.
But can you beat a blue belt with an actively resisting guard?
Like, you mean beat, like submit?
As in pass the guard, get into mount and crank the Americana? No,
not cranking Americana. I can just get on the. I can just like mount them, but that's it.
What? But can you stay in mount? That's the question.
Not that.
Yeah, no, that's my point. It's
I'm saying. I haven't beaten. I've never beaten the blue belt. I'm saying I've gone past their guard.
Yeah, but my question is, can you consistently stay on top? And my answer to that's like no.
No, because I gas out.
Yeah.
And that's my problem. I gas out because my cardio.
It's not
as I do my cardio.
It's not really. It's less your. I would say as.
It's also technique as well, because like they know how to like flex frame and then like use their legs and stuff.
It's not just them, but in my opinion, anyway, it's just my opinion. But it's also you, because it's like you're ambitious and you want to get that submission, and that's great mentality. But as a result,
not against purple belts.
But you tend so much. I don't know if you noticed this, but as someone outside watching you spar, even if you're on top, you tense your whole body, like you're like this for like the whole spar. I don't know if anyone told you this, but like you're so tense.
I leave my whole body, like when I'm sparring, like when I'm on top, it's like I just like give a fuck ton of pressure on top, because that's what I've been taught to do. Give like a shit ton of pressure, and then hopefully they won't.
And then if they're a blue belt, it doesn't work, and then you gas out, and
then hopefully the timer goes, and then it's done. Okay, I won, people.
It was so embarrassing because I was doing this open guard against, and he was a purple belt, so I was just trying to like practice. I was just trying to survive, and because I didn't know how to like use hooks at the time, right? Because in open guard you have to like hook your foot around their leg to like slow them down and spin with them. I didn't know that shit because I've been doing it for less than a month, and then the purple belt just stepped over my guard and then walked around and got side control. And I was like,
but one thing that like it's like hand-eye coordinate, like hand-leg coordination, really important. Like
I'd say like general kinesthetic awareness.
Honestly. Yeah, just like not even what's the word? Not even a physical standpoint. Like it's not even a physical thing, but it's like being able to like know when you're on bottom.
Yeah.
And that's what I realized by playing bottom a lot recently, right? Just because I want to train bottom.
When?
I've been playing like
How many weeks? 2 weeks?
Like 2-3 weeks. Just been playing bottom.
Give me 3 weeks of playing exclusively bottom.
Like,
I don't believe you.
Mostly bottom.
Like what guard do you play, by the way, when you're bottom? Open or closed?
Like either open or closed guard. Like sometimes like they start like.
Okay, yeah, but all guards are either open or closed. Like what?
No. Usually it's like usually closed guard.
Usually closed guard.
Yeah.
When you're like latching.
Yeah, latching, or like they start on top and then they try to get past my guard. Right? And then
I think that's quite hard because you've got strong legs.
And then we'll see how like we end up, right? But just by playing bottom, like you learn so much about like how to kind of like not only just defend yourself, but
win from bottom.
But try to win from bottom,
yeah.
Exactly, right? And because since I'm not a good bottom player, it forces you to learn stuff like coordination, like using your legs is so important in a lot of different situations, not just
have you ever tried sparring against a guy who's your size and your skill level? Your size and skill level?
I think, when we were fighting against I remember on Saturday.
Last Saturday.
Last Saturday. I wasn't there last.
Yeah,
Saturday,
you weren't.
But last Saturday.
Yeah, big shame. You missed out cross college.
Mate, I was so tired. Okay.
Yeah, but well, yeah, go on.
Last Saturday there was not gonna name his name, but there was an Aussie guy, who just came in for the first time.
Oh no, but
and he was 90 kilos as well.
He's not 90 kilos.
He's 90 kilos. He's heavier than me.
He didn't feel like 90 kilos.
Mate, he's 90 kilos.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm actually genuinely shocked because there's some other white belts who are like 80 something kilos, right? And I spar with them.
And maybe it's just the manipulation of weight.
They don't feel as heavy as
how
you.
to make themselves heavy. You know?
Like you out of everyone I've sparred so far in like sparring, like you feel the heaviest. Like against like blue belts and purple belts, I feel like I'm getting toyed with, but not that I'm getting like, you know, physically crushed. Like I think sparring against you is like the best psychological pressure test. In terms of like keeping calm, because against a blue belt and purple belt, it's easy to stay calm.
That's the game plan. Like for me, it's like keep them really bottom, like
keep pressuring.
Keep pressuring them. Like
you should check out this guy, Bernardo Faria, because he's got the style that you want.
Yeah.
Do you know him, Bernardo?
No.
Bernardo Faria. So he's founder of this website called BJJ Fanatics, and his whole style is around pressure passing. So because he's quite a heavy guy. So it's like pressure, wait, and then he like crushes your guard slowly, inch, and then he inches his way past your guard. Really, really terrifying.
Yeah,
stuff.
I think we're just like learning how to like, and we have to wrap this up, but like just learning how to get past that first leg, and then the second leg, and then getting into the kind of the close guard position, and then breaking the close guard by getting a leg up, not getting like pushed down, and then like trying to be very technical with everything. Like it's a seamless movement. Like I think when I learn a movement, it's not just like I learn like, oh, I focus on the hand and like not do anything, but like I focus on the entire movement as it is, like, oh, how do I get past, like just feeling a lot of times, just feeling my way through certain things.
So let's wrap up by saying, you know, the UFC and MMA in general is getting more exciting every year. I think it's getting better and better, and I think Jiu-Jitsu is just such a great activity. Not just because it's good cardio. It's a good workout, obviously.
It's a good workout, yeah.
But
it's got to be way fitter than before, but yeah.
But you learn a skill in addition to getting a good workout.
Yeah.
Because look, lifting weights is fantastic, and I need to do that because I'm so scrawny.
Yeah.
But lifting weights in it of itself isn't... Okay, you can say it's a real life skill because you lift heavy things, but in terms of actually like, knowing like actual like the depth of knowledge, I think Jiu-Jitsu is...
It's like chess, but like physically.
Yeah, like high stakes, high pressure, physical human chess. Yeah.
Which is what you like because you play chess.
I used to. I'm not that great.
You would still beat me, so
I'm pretty bad chess player.
But anyways, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
If you guys liked that episode, we kind of went a bit too long with this episode. But anyways,
I think
really matter.
We got a bit too enthusiastic.
We got a bit too enthusiastic just talking about Jiu-Jitsu. But if you guys liked that kind of off the record episode of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and also the UFC, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, and we're not experts, by the way.
We're not experts.
We're absolute beginners.
Yeah, we're like pretty dumb, but
we're like kindergartners or like nursery school children trying to talk about
theoretical
theoretical physics.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys like that, please like, comment, subscribe, and without further ado, peace.